competition this season. They know they need it. The fresh and the familiar for Liverpool tonight. Andy Carroll, with 35 million reasons to succeed, makes his first start in a Liverpool shirt. At the other end, Pepe Reina, celebrating his 300th Liverpool appearance. A couple of changes to the Braga team. Kaká, whose stray elbow caught Carroll flush in the face last week, he's only on the bench tonight, hiding. Paulo replaces him. The experienced midfielder Vandinho returns from injury. He replaces Mossoro, who won that penalty last week. That's the way they're lining up tonight. 4-1. 4-1, a side who very much depend on the counter-attack, both home and away. Lima leading the line. Well, the two teams, as you can see, are gathering in the middle here. The sign that you might be able to pick out in Japanese in the middle. With you, Japan. We're about to have a moment's silence here for those affected by the devastating events in Japan in the last week. This is a city that's known its fair share of tragedy over the years, so I'm sure this will be a silence that will be impeccably observed.
Senhoras e senhores, em memória das vítimas dos trágicos acontecimentos que ocorreram no Japão e numa demonstração de apoio ao povo japonês, pedimos que se levantem e observem minuto de silêncio.
Well, wonderfully observed. You could have literally heard a pin drop there, couldn't you? Now, what about this lineup here tonight, John Scales? What are you expecting from it? Never mind the headline, Andy Carroll. What about Joe Cole in midfield on the left as well? There's plenty expected from him tonight, isn't there?
Well, there's a lot of expectations from Joe Cole. You know, for him personally, it's just about getting minutes on the pitch, playing in games. He's not been able to do that since he's come here. You can't see the best of any player unless he's playing regularly and getting match sharpness and fitness. So, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing him in the game this afternoon, this evening. For me at the back, you know, Wilson coming in, then the young left back, signed from Rangers last year. Big job to do at left back. Johnson on the other side. But for me, really, you know, it's always going to be about Carroll tonight. What can he do? Tonight's about being positive, having the movement. That's been dynamic. You know, they've got to build the momentum and the crowd behind them, and that's what they've got to start this game well.
Well, we've been here before, hope in our hearts for a rock and roll 90 minutes at Anfield, and if Liverpool are to go through here, then there have to be goals, of course. A minimum of 2 required. Should an away goal be scored here, then it becomes an awful lot more difficult, of course. Liverpool having not scored an away goal last week, they cannot afford to concede one here tonight. And already they find themselves in a difficult position here, a free kick which Hugo Viana will relish. Chance to test the early concentration in this Liverpool defensive line. 5 in white up there as Viana puts one in. Maybe a stray arm there from Lima. But anyway, it's safely through to Pepe Reina. 300 appearances for Pepe Reina. So many of the outfield players, your Gerrards, your Carragers, and now your Carrolls, get all the hype and the headlines, but Pepe Reina deserves a heck of a lot of headlines as well, doesn't he?
Well, when you consider he's nearly had half of those games have been clean sheets, 140-odd clean sheets. He's been phenomenal for Liverpool. And, you know, we heard about Stan saying, you know, but for Casillas at Spain, he'd have played many more games for the international side.
Here's Carragher having a look up, and Cat has held his line here. He's onside. Just a little bit of a difficulty in bringing it down, but has found Johnson. Cole was in the middle. Carroll is lingering on the edge of the penalty area. Braga with a chance to bring it clear here. Viana. Joe Cole trying to work his number. Viana has it again. Put towards Rodrigo Lima. And an easy pick-up for Pepe Reina again. Neither of these two sides have played since their last meeting. Cat was offside by about 10 yards or so. They both had weekends off. Kenny Dalglish has had just one focus on his mind over the last 7 days. He took the players away for a couple of days after last week's match in Portugal. So it's a fairly fresh set of players that take to the pitch here tonight, as Domingos Paciência, the coach of the Braga side. Lima having a challenge, but Carragher comfortably back to his goalkeeper again.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of former players before the game, and they were saying that Kenny took them away deliberately to get a lot more communication between the players, get a bit of an atmosphere, get to know each other. It's something that I think he's identified since he's come in that's been lacking here. Just really that sort of real team bonding, team spirit, the ability to communicate between each other.
Headed by Skirtle. Given away, but a foul in the midst of all of that on Maxi Rodriguez. So Liverpool have the free kick here. How do they approach this tonight as well? Because they have to score, but of course it goes without saying they cannot afford to concede. So is it caution for a long while? Here comes Carl chasing the ball from Joe Cole. Already signs that they do maybe have the key to opening this defence. Not quite on that occasion. Not quite,
but it was a good little vision from Joe Cole there, just in that deep lying right-hand side role. He's on the right-hand side, Maxi on the left-hand side, but it's all about, you're right, having the right balance, but they've got to be positive for me. I mentioned at the start, they've got to have that momentum that means the crowd get behind them, they keep the energy about the place, and, you know, most important of all, of course, they've got to get that service into Carroll and Kite at the right times in the right areas.
Decent home record in Europe of late at Liverpool, 9 wins, 1 draw in their last 10 home European games. They haven't scored an awful lot of goals in that time. There have been matches when there has been a certain frustration hanging in the Anfield air. It's laid back towards Paulo Cesar. Shot blocked away. Challenge, a high boot from Danny Wilson, has given away another free kick here.
That's when you see the signs of a little bit of nervousness, when the midfield 3 or 4 drop right onto the back of the defence at Liverpool, and that's not what Jamie Carragher or Skirtle want to see. They don't want them dropping right back into that area. They want to be pushed out, get out quickly, close the shots down, and I just saw signs there that they're just dropping a little bit too deep at moments.
So Hugo Fayana, who looked like he was having bundles of fun last week playing against this Liverpool side, with a chance maybe to test Pepe Reina with a left-footed shot that's taken a deflection. Morales with a touch. Cole on the chase. A little bit of pressure on Alberto Rodriguez, but simple enough. And Arthur in goal with a clearance. Almost finding Kaut, the header back there. There's Lucas. Carroll flattened. The cop goes up in one in his defence. Skirtle. Lucas. Interesting that the bête noire from last week, Carroll, is on the bench. Here's Carroll, is offside. And a little bit of space, but from the wrong position.
Yeah, but it's a great position that Carroll's taken up. I'm not sure if he's offside. I think he's almost level. I'll tell you what, that needs to have another look at that. But great diagonal ball. He pulls off the centre half. We heard Stan saying, you know, he's a big, huge player, Paulao, in there at the back, but he's pulled off, made the full-back think about it, and a marginal decision there that the linesman's given him offside.
It was close enough to worry the Portuguese defence, wasn't it? Here's Arthur. Miguel Garcia, the right back, with a throw. Allen, the intended target. Defeat last week against Braga was Liverpool's first defeat in 14 European games. First defeat, of course, for Kenny Dalglish in Europe. 1-1 drawn, 1 lost, 1 is record so far. I'm sure that will be extended by some distance, or at least that's his hope. Here's Carroll with a header. Wilson, Lucas, Morales has to be sharp, and is, and Cole As Johnson scurrying away on the right in anticipation. Here's Morelos. Carroll. He's looking to try and squeeze it through if he can. Wide to Maxi Rodriguez. Here comes Wilson. This is Lucas. Now Carragher. Carroll to get the header in, and Cole with a terrific effort, and Carroll will follow up, and the deflection wide for a corner. Well, in one instant we saw what Liverpool were hoping for when they signed him. They're claiming for a handball in the middle as well there, that wasn't just a deflection, that the defender actually touched that wide with his hand. I have to say there was certainly a case for it, wasn't there? We'll have a look at that in just a moment, but in the meantime, encouraging moments here for Liverpool. Morelos with a corner, Carroll with a lead, down and wide.
Well, there we've seen in the minute there just what Carroll's all about. First of all, picked out with a lovely diagonal ball, nodded it down for Joe Cole, had a great shot away on target, came and followed up the rebound to get the corner, and there again, he's had a clean free header, because just his size and his power in the air is a danger for us all to see. I think we'll just have another look at this penalty claim from Joe Cole. When it comes back, he's claiming he's handballed it away.
Well, it came at, he was only a yard away, wasn't he, to be fair? And it came at such a pace that it would have been a very harsh decision. I think it did hit Carroll on the arm, and I think the referee made the right decision there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had his arms down by the side of him. It was out of the box anyway. So, pretty simple decision for the referee that he's got right there.
Foul on Morelos. So a good, positive start here for Liverpool. Only nearly 9 minutes played. Kenny Dalglish's name booming out from the Kop at the moment. Wilson stroking one over. That's a lovely flighted ball into that penalty area, which has earned Liverpool another corner kick here. Already Braga under some pressure.
Well, this is what you want at the start of the game, like we said, be positive, get them on the back foot, not on the front foot, and keep them under the pressure that this sustained opening 10 minutes has provided Liverpool.
It's Morelos. So, actually the right back, Glenn Johnson, who got in there to get the header in.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that was exactly where Morelos was trying to put the ball, but it's ended up coming into that near post area danger zone. Thought he was just trying to drill it further onto the penalty spot on the 6-yard line.
I'm sure he's happy to be dubbed right back, Glenn Johnson, tonight as well. He's been operating on the left quite a bit, hasn't he, of late? Out of necessity at times, but obviously much more comfortable on the right-hand side of the field.
Well, Kelly's been so good. They're missing him obviously with his injury that he's picked up, but Kelly's been fantastic, and the service he's provided. But also, of course, that left-back spot that Danny Wilson's providing cover for tonight has been an issue with injuries there as well.
Wilson's gathering the yards here as he eventually takes this throw. Free kick for the challenge from Carroll. And by the way, just to reiterate, if you weren't watching last week, the reason why Andy Carroll wears the 29 tonight, not the number 9, it's a UEFA ruling. Of course, Fernando Torres played in the number 9 shirt earlier in the season in this competition, and so under UEFA rules, the same shirt cannot be worn, the same number cannot be worn by 2 players. So even though in the domestic leagues he is more familiar, the number 9, tonight he's 29. Allen. Lima. Back heel and a hope, but behind him was only Danny Wilson. And no trouble for Liverpool to clear it again. Count with a touch. Here's Lucas. Well, for all that Joe Cole was normally down to play as a wide man tonight, he seems to be a much more central figure so far, doesn't he? Here comes Count. A lovely little Carroll drives it in, the flag's up on the far side.
Yeah, it was
lovely skills.
Yeah, it was a good flowing move. They were patient, then when they released the ball, Maxi with that little back heel flick. I thought maybe on the far side he was offside at the first moment, but he wasn't. But here you see Maxi Rodriguez just give a great little back flick, and the linesman's got it spot on again. Just half a yard offside. But again, encouraging signs. That movement is there tonight.
Spartak Moscow, by the way, have gone through to the final 8 of this competition. Have as Twente, Benfica and Dynamo Kiev at the expense of Manchester City. So 4 clubs already through, already guaranteed a place in the draw which takes place tomorrow, which will determine not only the quarter-finals but the potential semi-finals as well. Liverpool hoping their name is still very much involved. Lima. Pushed through here for Salino. Lima wide. Good effort by Skirtle. With a clean challenge that spins it away for a throw.
Yeah, a couple of good interceptions from Skirtle. He's done well in there. Sensed the danger when it's appeared. When the players have run off, they've given him, got the ball, they've given it and gone with the run, and he's covered well across there when Carragher was dragged out.
Decent header away this time by Skirtle. And the ball approaching at pace to Allen, he obviously can't keep it in play. Here's Lucas. Carragher. Wilson. Aiming for one or the other. Kite or Carroll, but finding neither. Here's Johnson's header. Lucas with a little flick again, but Vandinho was in there to regain possession for his side, and Allen now just suggesting a threat on this right-hand side. Vandinho. Lima. Mayana's up there in support as well. Lima's going to have a crack here, but always travelling despite some pace into the midriff of Pepe Reina.
Yeah, it's a great strike, but he's going to have to produce something incredibly special from 40 yards out to beat Reina from that distance.
Here's Carroll. Well, there's the latest score in the Rangers game. It was 0-0 in the first leg, of course, but PSV Lens with a goal, a vital away goal there as well. It's not a great night for British clubs at the moment. Just to reiterate, Manchester City already having gone out. 1-0 winners against Dynamo Kiev on the night, but 2-1 losers on aggregate. Rangers trailing by 1-0 against PSV. Liverpool a goal behind on aggregate against Braga. Plenty of football still to come. Here's Wilson. This is Lucas. And the long ball was the one that tried to pierce that Braga back four with. Viana. Silvio. Lima's the man in the middle. So watched all the way by Joe Cole. Had their best ever season last season, did Braga, in terms of the domestic leagues, led there by their coach Domingos Paciencia to second place. Heady heights as far as they're concerned. That means, of course, they qualified for the Champions League, but failed to get out of the group, in which Arsenal were involved, of course. They did have that famous 2-0 win against Arsenal at the AXA Stadium, but away from home, they have looked pretty vulnerable in Europe of late. Lost 6-0 away at Arsenal. They beat Celtic 4-2 on aggregate in the qualifying stages, but they also lost away at Celtic Park. So at home, very solid. Away from home, just a little bit fragile. Scootle's ball and Wilson's onside. She's still on here on Vandinho. A better first touch there from Wilson, and Liverpool might have been in.
Yeah, that's just when he needed a good forward pass, and he just let it hit his foot and kill the momentum of the game then just for a second when they were building up in that move.
Wilson's ball across, but easily into the arms of Arthur.
You know, Braga playing a very high line, pushing out as much and as quickly as possible. Every time the ball gets set back, they're looking for the to receive the long ball from Liverpool at times when Carroll's pulling off or Kite's pulling off on that far side. But there they were caught out again, just pushing slightly too high, not having a straight back line.
Here's Carragher. Towards Carroll again. Cat's gone on the run in anticipation of the knockdown, but didn't quite come his way. Morelos. So Rodriguez again going down in some discomfort. The challenge on that occasion from Leandro Celino.
Yeah, it was good closing down from Braga. They got into the back, just caught him. Nothing too malicious, but just breaks the play up. And that's the danger for Liverpool, is they just don't want to get their heads up and look for that long ball all the time too quickly. And Joe Cole as well has got to get forward and support in the right areas.
It's Carragher's long ball this time. It's headed away by Paulao. And it's further afield by Allen. And here's Allen again. Celino dealt with by Martin Skirtle, who's having a no-nonsense night so far tonight. Miguel Garcia to take this. As a young fella, he was highly rated, Miguel Garcia, but he got a very bad injury, knee ligament injury at one stage of his career that stopped him maybe being the stellar fullback that he might have been.
Viana's the other one who's never really fulfilled his potential, has he? I saw him obviously in this country for a few years with Newcastle, and here he is on the ball again.
Silvio. Viana again. Cuts out Vandinho and picks out Garcia once more. This is Allen. The cut inside might offer him a shooting position here. Not the curl he was hoping for.
No, he didn't look too comfortable coming in on his left-hand side, on his left foot. Wilson just caught slightly flat-footed, invited him to cut in. There you can see the sort of swing of the leg indicates that he's not 100% comfortable cutting in.
Lucas. Johnson on his travels here, chased hard though by Alberto Rodriguez, who showed decent pace there, the central defender, to make sure it's tucked away for a corner and nothing more threatening, at least for the moment.
We've just seen Liverpool sort of just dip off a bit, haven't we, in the last sort of 6 or 7 minutes from that opening, spell that they had. They put pressure on Braga. They haven't really sustained it, and here's a great opportunity for them to get this ball whipped in from Morelos again from the right-hand side.
5 to choose from in the middle. Over it comes. Carroll actually went down, and the referees decided he was backing in to the defender. He's having a bit of an argument there, Andy Carroll, with one of those additional assistants. But I think that was the referee's call, because he blew his whistle very sharpish there.
Well, it's a push in the back. So, the officials down there, right behind, on the spot behind the goal line, pushed Carroll straight in the back, pushed him into, and they've collided. So it's a free kick the other way, if anything. But of course, you're never going to really see that unless it's. Well, I was going to say if it wasn't blatant, but that was blatant for me.
Here's Carragher. Cole. Silvio keeping tabs.
mystified by that.
Fingers pointing here. The supporters on the far side that throw-in should have been taken about 5 yards further back than where he was standing, and the embarrassment took over and back he went. Here's Morales. Hunter. Allen, he's got a bit of width and a bit of space here. Needs some tidying up from Lucas.
Yeah, it's a great diagonal change of play, wasn't it, from Viana? Picked him out on the right-hand side, but just at times there, you know, when Braga get the ball in the middle of the field, it just looks like Morales and Lucas slightly overrun with the numbers, with the movement that they've got, causing them one or two problems. Braga, just with the numbers outclassed in midfield at times.
Carroll's up there by himself at the moment, but does a decent job of winning it and holding it, and here comes the support out to Cat. Offside again. Well, he was caught a few times last week, wasn't he, Dirk Cat, in that offside position, and I don't think he had any complaints there. Well, he shouldn't have had anyway.
It's another tight decision. It's again Braga pushing very, very high up the pitch, keeping it tight. Kenny can't quite believe that. I don't think he saw that one either. But I think he got the right decision again.
Carragher with a header away. He's got more work to do here. Into the channel, in which nobody was chasing. Cat will chase all night. Here's his header. This is Carroll. Here's Cole. Johnson. Skirtle. Towards Carroll again. To drift over, and Maxi Rodriguez behind. Carroll's still up there for the battle. He'll take them all on if he has to. Eventually booted away by Alberto Rodriguez to the relative safety of the Liverpool half. And the linesman wasn't sure. It's the referee who's given the throw-in Braga's way here.
I don't think the referee was sure either. He looked at the linesman. The linesman looked back at him. Eventually they decided it was the best bet to give it Braga. I wasn't sure if that was the right decision.
Miguel Garcia. Nice little flick. This time from Salino, and Allen with the ball in, but headed away by Carragher. Had to get down low. Not cleared yet. Rodrigo Lima. Morales unbalanced. It'll be a corner. And I think there was a half a clay for a handball there, but I think that was similar to the one at the other end. If it did hit the arm, it went at such speed and such closeness that it would have been harsh.
But it's sloppy. It's really, really sloppy play from Liverpool, and it's, you know, in a way, it's been coming for the last 10 minutes. You know, they started that spell well, we said that. But there again, you know, they're really poor clearance.
So here's Viana with a corner, and out comes Pepe Reina with a telling punch that deflects it away from danger. Count forward. Cole, the only man up there. And he's won his side a free kick. Good job by Joe Cole.
Well, what a great job he did, because he's small lad, isn't he? And he put the effort in. He gets the first ball, and he just backed in to draw the foul, and that's the best they could have hoped for. And it was well played from Joe Cole.
Here he comes again, getting busy. Cat sprinters off the backside of Alberto Rodriguez for a Liverpool throw, but they're just lifting the tempo here and regaining a little bit of pressure. Forward it goes. Easy take for Arta.
Yeah, we said about, I said at the top of the show, you know, it's all about that service, the quality of the service and the timing of the service as well. You've got to get it right. And there, the ball wasn't good enough, and it was into the arms of the keeper.
It's a big slice ball from Allen, which might actually stay in play. No, it doesn't. Bounces away. Here we go. This is the claim for a handball, and again, like at the other end, Skirtle certainly did touch it with his arm, but certainly unintentional, and it came at such a pace that he couldn't have done anything about it. Here's Lima. Ninth season in Europe, of course, for Liverpool this season. And there's every chance that next season won't be the 40th the way things are going. The FA Cup draw means they have to get up into 5th place, you would have thought, to qualify for the Europa League next year via that route, or win this competition. And I think winning this competition looks the best bet so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the way that the league's going, I can't expect them getting up into 5th place. Take a monumental finish to the season to achieve that, with Spurs, Chelsea and Man City favourites to follow up.
And here's Cat doing a real wrestling job to try and earn his side advantage, not quite coming off on that occasion, and with a couple of nice touches, suddenly Alberto Rodriguez is bringing it the other way. This is Paulo Cesar. Lima. Carragher steady enough. Lucas. And Johnson. Liverpool throw.
Yeah, they look like they're enjoying themselves.
Oh, it's gone the other way. It's gone the other way. Well, from our distance, that looked quite clearly a Liverpool throw.
Well, I just turned away, presuming they'd get that one right. But they are. They look like they're enjoying themselves. They've got a bit of freedom to express themselves. The movement of that front 5-6 is causing Liverpool some problems when they get the ball in possession. Liverpool have got to do more in this game. They've got to have more energy, more pace. To get the impetus going, the momentum going, get the crowd lifted. They're not doing that at the moment, and they're just sitting back on their heels at times, and almost looking for that long ball, the diagonal, as I said, to Carroll or Kite, too early, not building up. The midfield aren't quite sure what to do, and for me again, the two in midfield just outnumbered because they're playing a narrower midfield, Braga, when they get possession.
Silvio. Cesar. Here's Miguel Garcia. So Rodriguez drawn towards him, but can't stop the pass forward. Allen. Again, some very nice skills to leave Wilson in his wake and win another corner kick here for Braga. He's a player to watch tonight, is Allen.
Yeah, he's causing a lot of problems down here for Wilson. Wilson just showing his naivety there, just going in too tight and getting rolled far too easily. And we've seen so far in this opening 20 minutes or so just the problems of the skill that he's got on this right-hand side, and a couple of poor clearances.
Here's Viana with the corner. They'll get another chance, will he? No, he won't. It's a goal kick. And the ironic cheers for the cup as they finally feel that one decision has gone their way.
That's why Paulau's in the side there. We saw in the number 3 at the back there, comfortably winning the challenge in the air. And again, as I say, they don't want to just be relying on that long diagonal ball every time. You've got to mix it up. You've got to turn the defence. You've got to get them back so they don't able to just squeeze up tight. You've got to play it into the midfield and just use the assets that you've got to break up the pattern of play a little bit at times.
Here's Skirtle. Carragher. Lucas. Carragher again. Inch by inch, they find themselves in decent position here, Liverpool. Cole. That's a poor pass by him behind Morales, and the opportunity offered the other way. Allen. See it. Back to his goalkeeper. And again, it's Cat who chases hard to put what pressure he can on. So 32 minutes played. There haven't been too many signs of Liverpool goals so far, have there? One or two early chances. But Braga have also threatened. Garcia with a throw. Here's Morales. Lucas. Now Johnson. Morales has a look up and sees what movement's ahead of him and doesn't fancy a pass at this stage, so back to Carragher. Here comes Cole. Again, it's a conservative build-up here by Liverpool. Johnson's free on the right. Cat onside when he made that run. Carroll in the middle wants it. Good ball over. He got ahead of the central defender, Palau, and went down in a heap that provokes the claim for the penalty more from the sidelines than on the playing surface. But there's still a chance here. Lucas just rolling away from danger, and another big shot. And again, play on, says the referee.
Yeah, I think they've got both decisions pretty much spot on there. I think Lucas is going away. Yeah, he's come in, he's a strong challenge. It's a difficult one to give. You know, he has pushed him off the ball. And I think the one previously on Carroll as well was probably just leaning into him. But I don't think he was ever going to get it.
It's Viana left to Silvio. Cole tracking across. Here's Paulo Cesar. Viana.
Just on the initial cross before, when Carroll went to the near post, thought Rodriguez has got to be pushing in at the far post, right on the fullback, even breaking past the fullback into the 6-yard area. He's not. He does well to keep the ball in, but got to get the players in the box in the danger area. There's just Carroll literally in the penalty box then.
Well, an arm stretched across the shoulder. Paulo Cesar has given Braga a free kick here in a very, very decent position from their point of view. If there was any suggestion that they were going to be overwhelmed here tonight, the Portuguese side, it has certainly not transpired. Silvio looking to tee this one up. Driving across, but off the head of Johnson and away. Still, there's a threat though. Here's Allen. He's here. Viana. Silvio's ball across, but nobody there. Wilson steady. There's Maxi Rodriguez. Morales. Plays the foul, not given. Into the channel for Carroll. Forcing the defender to turn it away for the throw. So having survived that little spell of pressure, Liverpool are looking to turn it the other way at the other end here.
Braga look very comfortable at times, don't they, when they're in possession? The back four, you know, again holding that really tight, high, flat line, making it difficult for Liverpool to get any space to run into. And there you see the midfield going up. You've got 5, 6, 7 of the Liverpool players in a flat line across the front. There's no depth, there's no movement, and it's very, very difficult for players to then pick out anybody.
Count off the chest, couldn't quite spring it Carroll's way. Bandinho steps in, and then Rodriguez helping it out to Silvio. Carragher. Cole's making a dash here, looking for the early Carragher ball, and it's come his way, but it's out for a goal kick. So Liverpool hoping to make it into the final 8. And don't forget that here on Channel 5 you will see the quarter-final first leg, Thursday the 7th of April. All the highlights from this round of action on Saturday morning, 10:05 on Channel 5, Europa League highlights plus interviews of all the games, not just the ones involving the British clubs. And channel5.com/football is where you need to go to keep up to date with all the Europa League video interviews, Pat Nevin's blog, and all the rest of that interesting stuff. There's Maxi Rodriguez, and here's Wilson. There's some count. Well, you can see his intention, but not quite called off. The only scoreline that would take us into extra time, by the way, tonight would be a 1-0 win for Liverpool. No, it's not beyond the bounds of imagination, is it?
No, it's not the way this the first half. No real clear chances for either side, but I think 0-0 reflects the sort of game, the pressure that's on both sets of players. There's so much at stake here.
Wilson's floated ball over. Carroll looking to time his run. He took it out of the goalkeeper's hands. The goalkeeper's claiming an injury as well here, Arta. Bit of a concern here for Braga, because the man they've got on the bench, Cristiano, is only a youngster, the reserve goalkeeper. I should imagine Arta's going to be okay. I think the suspicion from Anfield was he might have been milking it a little there.
Well, they can use up the seconds, can't they? Run down the clock. They've got that all-important goal at the moment. But as you said at the start, one of the most important things is obviously not to concede a goal here, and that puts the game really an uphill struggle for them.
Vandinia. Moreles. At the other end, by the way, Braga look like they've got problems, because Palau has gone down. I think it was a clash of heads. Now, whether he's milking it or not, we'll have to wait and see.
I think that was from the challenge from Carroll. I thought Carroll made up yards of space on the ball that was hit up to him, and great, fair challenge. Not quite sure, is it a clash of heads or?
Well, there was definitely no elbow, was there?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I think he has got a clash of heads when Carroll went in and did well to win the header.
A reminder that 4 teams are already through to the final 8 of this year's competition. Dynamo Kiev, having beaten Manchester City earlier by 2-1, have booked their place. Benfica, another of those famous names, through. They've won an aggregate in Paris tonight against PSG. Spartak Moscow, one of a couple of Moscow teams still involved in the competition, and this evening began. They have won against Ajax, but the Dutch do have representation in the final 8, because Twente are through, having beaten another Russian team, Zenit St. Petersburg. Recent winners, weren't they, Zenit? Here's Carragher for Liverpool, looking to turn the heat up here on Braga. Skirtle with a header. Boozer, because Palau has just come back onto the field. And Carroll, came to him at pace. Has to come down eventually. Garcia with the flick away. Here's Moreles. And there was a collision there, very definitely, but I think again it was accidental, because the referee's saying play on. Moreles and Allen seem to clash heads, and despite the fact they both were in some discomfort for the start, the referee waved them away. They're okay now. Moreles, Wilson. Oh, it's Cole on the chase. Well, hooked away by Palau, and a corner for Liverpool. And maybe, just maybe here, with half-time looming, what a time this would be for Liverpool to get a goal. The Anfield roar is being heard, loud and clear. Morelos with the ball in, and the goalkeeper not over troubled in punching away. And there's a Liverpool player down still. Who's that?
It's another stoppage.
It's Dirk Kuyt, who stayed down.
Yeah, that's frustrating, isn't it? You know, with the play getting broken up. Again, just another one with the clash of heads. How many have we seen in the last 5 minutes?
More of a shoulder elbow there, wasn't
it was.
there?
It wasn't the greatest challenge.
Given what happened last week with Kaká, I think Liverpool will be drawing the referee's attention to any use of the elbow in this game tonight. Here's Skirtle. Carroll. Morelos. Wilson.
Well, he did well to get the ball back, Morelos, because he made the mistake with the back heel, sloppy play, you know, and that's sort of symptomatic of the first half, I suppose. They haven't been incisive, they haven't had the movement at the right times, just lack that quality of the ball. You know, yes, they've hit some decent diagonal balls to Carroll, but that's the easy option in many ways. They've got to have the players running off it, got to come from depth.
Well, here comes Johnson, having advanced, but again the touch letting him down. Morelos. Cole did well to shake off the defensive efforts of Paulo Cesar. Johnson's wide. Now, can he deliver here? Can he get room to deliver? Silvio's trying to close him down and does a decent job. Silvio there again to turn away for the throw-in. Still, that little bit of pressure remains here for Liverpool to try and work something out.
I think Kenny will be trying to work something out at half-time. Have a chat with the lads. I think they'll be a slightly different shape in the second half.
Here's Wilson. Turned in by Maxi Rodriguez, and Carroll again. Yeah. Well, maybe less than 50-50 in terms of whether he was going to get the header in when the ball was flying to him, but he certainly made sure he won it, didn't he?
Yeah, no, that's the great ball that Carroll's going to thrive on. When it's played in early, Carroll could get across the defender, and that was a chance. There's been chances in the first half. You know, Carroll's had that the shot. Cole had that great shot just beforehand. The keeper saved well.
2 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. The end of this opening 45.
2 minutes.
And Carroll's header as well from the corner. So, you know, they've had chances, Liverpool, from the pressure that they've had in forced corners. Allen, I think, has caused problems down this right-hand side for Wilson. He's looked exposed at times, but they haven't been able to capitalise on those moments when they've got in those really, really good areas, Braga.
Playing here, Andres Salino. Well, good referee, he was looking for that, wasn't he, Salino? The touch, which was far too heavy, knew he wasn't going to get it, and a little word of acknowledgement to the referee as well.
Hold my breath there when Jamie Carragher was going in for that challenge. He pulled out, did the right thing.
Here's Paulo Cesar. Yes, really well to win it, but then rather cynically pulled down by Paulo Cesar. So free kick for Liverpool, which they're looking to get on with here with just about 30 seconds of the half remaining. Wilson lumping it forward. Kuyt. Here's Morelos. Now Johnson. Several targets up there. Well, that might just be the last of the action in this first half.
Yeah, they've made it very difficult for Liverpool. They've got the numbers back in midfield, held that solid back line. Liverpool
Well, Andy Carroll on his full debut. Joe Cole have had their moments in that first half as well, but it has been fairly flat for the opening 45 minutes on a night when Liverpool need goals. They go in a rather flaccid first half, 0-0 with Braga at half-time.